Mr. Massey and the others evade the capture and who have brought the others into custody. And I also want to thank the men and women who are working hard to find Mr. Groves. They will continue to work hard. As the chief said, we'd appreciate if Mr. Groves turns himself in, but at the same time, we're not going to stop. We're going to continue on, and just like we found Mr. Massey today, we will find Mr. Groves. We'll continue our efforts. We are thankful, too, that Mr. Massey came out and there was no problems today. He was arrested around 3:30 this afternoon here in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Colonel Hodges.
Good evening, everyone. Colonel Robert Hodges, Superintendent, Louisiana State Police. As everyone knows, today marks the 6th week of the escape, and it's through the partnership of the men and women and the leaders behind me and those who are not present but still working, as Chief IV stated, that we owe the credit to. This is truly has been from day one a joint operation. Although led by Louisiana State Police, our federal partners, the FBI, the ATF, Homeland Security Investigations, the U.S. Marshals, Secret Service, as well as our local partners, the New Orleans Police Department, the Orleans Sheriff's Office, the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office, and our other state agencies, probation and parole, many of those, as well as our Department of Corrections. Everyone has really given an incredible amount of resources. It's through our resilience and, more importantly, our collaboration is why we were able to bring Mr. Massey into custody today. But let's not lose sight. One still remains Derek Groves, and without the public's help, I appeal to everyone to please reach out, contact Crime Stoppers, contact the ATF or the FBI. The collective reward remains at $50,000 for that fugitive, and it's imperative for the safety of this community and all of Louisiana that you reach out to us. Those who have continued to help and aid, which includes Antoine Massey, those will also be brought to justice. As I've said previously, there are consequences for your actions. And when you help and aid and assist those to remain at large as a risk to the community, you will be charged accordingly. We look forward to the opportunity in the day when Mr. Groves is taken into custody. We would like it to be peacefully. We encourage him and anyone who knows him to reach out to any of the agencies that you see here. You can remain anonymous, but we need your help. And collectively, we will not rest, even if it takes another 6 days or another 6 weeks, until the last fugitive is in custody. Thank you.
Okay. HSI representative.
So I just want to, reiterate our commitment to our partners here, to public safety here, for the community in New Orleans. We're all very excited that Antoine Massey's in custody now, and we'll continue working alongside each of you to ensure that we bring Groves to custody too. Thank you.
Sheriff Hudson.
Okay, good afternoon. I am grateful to stand here with our law enforcement partners. Chief Kirkpatrick and I shared a moment this afternoon when she called me to talk about the press conference. Just about the relief about having Antoine Massey into custody. 9 of 10 escapees, we've got 1 more to go. Like all of our law enforcement partners, I call on Derek Groves to do the right thing and turn himself in. This is a major step forward in our efforts to restore order and accountability after this serious incident. I want to thank our community for reaching out to me personally to provide the information directly leading to Antoine Massey's capture. As soon as I received this information, I reached out to our detectives who are a liaison to the state police, the Attorney General, the NOPD, and the United States Marshals Task Force. They've set the actions in motion, which led to his capture. I want to extend my deepest gratitude to all of the folks up here and our partners up here. I have to give a special thanks to our deputies, of course, who coordinated and worked together to make this happen. But we're grateful to this community, as both Chief and the Colonel both said. Together, we made this happen, and I'm grateful. I also want our community to know that OPSO continues to harden and modernize the facility. That is well underway. We're installing new razor wire, tightening physical barriers, upgrading locking mechanisms. These all play an important role in the safety of our residents, staff, and the entire community. These are just the first steps in a very urgent plan, and we can't do it alone, and we call on all of our partners to help make sure that the investment needed here is done. So again, thank you all for your hard work and your partnership, and we look forward to getting Mr. Groves in custody.
Okay. We got take some questions. Channel 4, we'll start with you.
Hi, sorry, I'm back here and I'm short. So in the Holly Grove area, we were able to talk to the owner of the property who said it was an Airbnb. Do we know at this point was he assisted in renting that Airbnb?
So let's have the colonel speak to that.
So, right now, obviously, we're still questioning Mr. Massey and others who were aiding and assisting him, and we don't have any comment regarding specific details, but it's pretty obvious over the last 6 weeks to remain a fugitive that long. He had assistance, he had help. Whether or not it was someone helped him with the Airbnb, we would have to think yes, but who and all those things will be determined later. And I would just encourage the public, you think you're helping your family members and your friends, but you're not. You're putting everyone else at risk for selfish reasons, and please, do not continue to do that with our remaining fugitive, Garrett Groves, and those who assisted Mr. Massey will have consequences for their actions.
Fox 8.
Can y'all take us through the timeline of how long it was from when you got the skip to when he was recaptured?
Okay, so I think, Sheriff, if you can do the timeline and then kick in here, because it occurred in our city, obviously, so please go ahead and explain how you got the tip.
I'm not going to get into the details of how I got it. Of course, we don't. This is we're grateful to our partners at Crime Stoppers, where you can be anonymous in being able to come forward. But this all started between 10 and 11 this morning, culminating in his arrest at 3:30.
So as far as the special operations of the U.S. Marshals, I happened to be at the Special Operations Division complex when they were getting ready to move to that location. So I would say it took no more than an hour from them being activated to this capture.
Channel 6.
The fear goes through at large home over any capture. Does it still indicate that Grove was the leader of the original escape?
I would just say that Groves, along with the other 9, all had help. And we know that, and they continue to have help. And we'll just leave it at that. As far as who was the leader in the escape, I think they all 10 wanted to get out on their own. And they would do anything to get out. And whatever that led to is where we are today. But once again, every one of them had some type of assistance throughout the process, especially once they left the facility.
26.
I think the question out there was really wanting to know now is, where's Groves? Do we have a lead on his location now? Do we have at least a target on him? Or is it a shot in the dark at this point?
Look, just as we said in previous conferences, we have many investigative tools and technology and a lot of leads that come in. All the tips that the public brings to us are investigated to the fullest. Sometimes we think we're incredibly close, and then we get to a residence, an apartment, a condominium, or a home, and they've just moved because they have help. We're still confident, just as we were about 2 or 3 weeks ago when we had a conference when we were at 8, and we went from 5 to, and then 3 on, it was Memorial Day, if y'all recall, 1 in Baton Rouge and 2 in Texas. We still believe today that we will find these, and it's due to the resilience of law enforcement. It's a lot of good police work coupled with investigative tools and technology and the state-of-the-art equipment that we use to help us. And, we can't do it alone. We need the court's help. I failed to mention earlier, our Eastern District of Louisiana, our U.S. Attorney's Office, is very helpful to us, as well as all our judicial districts in and around the state that provide us the assistance and grant and honor our requests for state or federal warrants, which helps further these cases. They take time, they take patience, and we just ask the public to continue to trust law enforcement, and that we will eventually locate Mr. Groves.
Okay. Thank you all for coming out. We appreciate it.
I have one more question.
Okay, we'll wrap it up.
Reese, I have a question. Did the tip come directly to the sheriff, or did it come through Crime Stoppers? I'm sorry, can we just clarify that a little bit?
Yeah, it came directly to me.
Okay. So did they just call you up?
I'm not going to give any information about that.
Did they get the $50,000?
I'm sorry?
Did they get the $50,000
I'm not involved in.
Look, just so everybody understands, the reward remains $50,000. Of course, it's a combination through Crime Stoppers, through ATF and FBI, and certainly if they reach out to one of those hotlines, those tip lines, they are eligible for that reward. But I don't want to go into the details. I don't think we just standing right there outside the residence and handing out a check. It remains anonymous, and Crime Stoppers does an incredible job. Darlene and her team, and all those who take the calls round the clock. And it is available. I don't know, the process, but I'm certain in days to come, if they had called Crime Stoppers, but I'm going to leave it to Darlene. Come on.
Darlene, you can share the number with people, because we are vetting every tip through Crime Stoppers. And it's about how many now?
We've had over probably now 1,200 original tips and several thousand that are follow-ups. Yeah. And I can only speak to the fact that we did receive a tip today, which I understood led to the arrest of Mr. Massey. So we'll be working with our partners, the U.S. Marshals, and on the Crime Stoppers portion. And if that is the qualifying tip, again, our tips are anonymous, so we don't know who they might have spoke to or where they came from. It is an anonymous tip, and we don't ask those questions. As far as the FBI's reward process, we will certainly point them to that direction so that they can then work through that process for the additional $20,000. And it's the number, it's 822-1111, or go online to crimestoppersgno.org. And yes, we encourage anyone with information on Mr. Groves. Y'all have been calling. We're getting tips daily on the two inmates. Continue. And thank you to law enforcement. Yeah. Incredible work.
$50,000 is life-changing for a lot of people. It'd be life-changing for me. So let's make sure that people understand that. You have information, it leads to an arrest like today. That's $50,000 minimum that we've already committed to, okay?
Yeah, and can you speak a little bit more to those Instagram posts that Massie allegedly made? Was that him making the post? Was that someone else? Will those lead to any arrests?
Go ahead and speak to it. It's still under investigation.
Look, we have a lot of posts, a lot of social media, as you all know, and some things are dated. Everything that we see online, our Fusion Center, our law enforcement partners, it's vetted, it's collaborated. But keep in mind, by the time you see it, someone else has already seen it. You don't know the exact time and date. You don't, but we do. And so just like when they move from home to home or neighborhood to neighborhood throughout the city or throughout the state, they're constantly moving. So it's actionable intelligence, and it's only good for a short amount of time. So to answer your question, we confirm all of the social media posts, regardless of the platform. We utilize that as an investigative lead, and then if we can move further that, we do. And I think sometimes it helps us, but sometimes it really just excites the public, and maybe it's a good piece for you all. But I just want to close with this. I know it's going to be asked, but I'll go ahead and voice it to you all. Mr. Massey, once we finish processing him and bringing him back to the Orleans Parish Jail and doing the booking, he will be relocated to the Angola, to our state prison, and it will be flown there sometime later this evening. Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out.
Thank you.
Let's make a hole over here, please.
Okay, thank you.
All right.